Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is I'm going to give you a set, each of you a set of words, and this is what you guys are going to be focusing on this week for your spelling. So what I want from you to do is go ahead and do you guys see how you guys have like bigger pieces and then yeah. So just kind of like you've seen before. Okay, so you're gonna take those, go ahead and put these, lay them out so you can see what words you're working on, what you're working on. Oh, switch them around. Sorry. Sorry, switch them. You got the wrong set. Sorry, switch. Switch, my bad. Okay, so go ahead and lay yours out, see what you're working on at top. All right, so what you have is I'm going to start with you, and then I will come to you in just a minute. So what I want you to do while you're waiting on me is I want you to start just reading through those. So just read through those while I'm working with you. Okay, so what I want you to do is what you're working on this week is, what's a vowel?
A vowel is like when you say and then like.
So if I have vowels, would it be, so when I have my letters in my alphabet, which ones are the vowels? A.
I know A is, and then E, O,
I.
and
U. U. So A, E, I, O, U are your vowels. I know it's been a while since you've broken them down like that. So your consonants are everything else in the alphabet, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to be looking at yours and you're going to be looking at different words that when you add your ing, you're either going to double your ending, double the consonant, or you are going to just keep it the same. So what I want you to do is, can I see some of your words? Is if I look at, so let me see, so like if I have, let me pull up some of the words. Oh, here we go. Okay, so if I were to have these two words, so I want you to read that word and read this word.
running around.
Okay, so you see how you have run by itself, and then you have running. Notice how when you added the ing, what did it do to the N?
It added another one.
It added another one, so it doubled it. So see how it says double plus your ing, so you have double. Then, good, so then you have your vowel. So you have a vowel, which would be your U, your consonant, which is your N. Then, if you grab another one, so like let's grab this one, what's that word say?
Jumping and appropriate.
Good, that would go right there because you didn't have to add a double. Okay, so you're gonna go through, and as you're doing that, I want you to make sure you're reading the words, and then go ahead and fill in your sort while I'm working over here. Okay, so I know that you have kind of read through some of your words. Okay, so you're gonna do the same thing. The difference with yours is you guys have two different words again, so what you're having is suffix. Good, suffixes come at the beginning or end? At the end of the root word, good. So what would be the root word of this one? Use, and then you would add the suffix. With this one you would have root word, suffix, and the root word, and less. Okay, good. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your words and you're going to separate them by suffixes. What do you think this kind of means?
Two suffixes?
Yeah, it's a combination of, so when you have two suffixes being used at the end of your word. So go ahead and sort out yours. So remember this one, if you have a vowel, consonant, consonant. So look at this. See how you have a vowel, A, and you have a consonant, consonant. So this would come over here. There you go. So you have vowel, and what do you have after it?
Consonant, consonant.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Okay, are you finished with yours? Okay, so now I want you to look at this. So you have vowel, consonant, consonant. Notice how, so you have, let me see.
Like you have yell, and then like you have yelling
Okay, good. So you see yell, where is yelling at?
right here.
Good. So did it add, now when I look at this, did it add anything else to it, or did it just add ing? Just add ing. What about this word?
It just add ing.
Okay, good. So I have passed and I have passing. What about this one?
It just add ing.
So when you have a vowel, consonant, consonant, do you add anything else to it, or do you just add your ending?
You just add your ending.
Good. So what about a vowel consonant?
You add a double ing.
So you have to add a double consonant. So when you have run and running, you have to have two consonants right there before you can have your ing. Same with put. So look at put, vowel consonant, and then you have to add what to it?
One more consonant.
And then your ending. Good. So same thing with sit and sitting. And yep, so then you can kind of see. So that's what I kind of want you to work on this week, is being able to know when you add your ing, do you have that double consonant, or do you need to add, or do you keep it the same? Okay, go ahead and kind of smush your words all back together for me.
Wow.
Okay, you did really well. I want to talk about with you, since you have suffixes. Do you know what the suffix less means?
You don't have a lot of, or
Right, you don't have a lot of it. So if I were to say, like, what if I were to say this word? What's that word? Tireless. So what is that saying?
like when you're tired. Is that what it means?
So if you're tireless, what would you do if you added less to it? Same with like, if you're speechless.
You don't really have anything to say. You can't say anything back.
Right, you don't have anything to say. So your less meaning is going to be without. So like if I'm worthless, I'm without worth. Priceless would be without price. Okay, do you know ness?
It's like
Ness is a little bit trickier. When I look at kindness, what would I say kindness would mean?
you're kind.
You're kind, right?
You're really kind.
Okay, what about darkness? I say we're going into the darkness. It would be
Going to into the dark.
into the dark, right? So ness is just a little bit more difficult. It's a state or a quality. So it's basically having that quality. So if I'm saying we're going into the darkness, it's just being dark. If I were to say politeness, you have a quality of being polite. Same with kindness. How you said you're really kind. You have a quality of being kind. And then full. Do you know what full is?
Like you have a lot of. It's like
Yep.
it's the opposite of less. It's a lot of it, a full of.
Right, you have a lot of it. Good. You said it exactly, full of. So if you're truthful, that means you are very truthful. You're full of truth. You're full of, if I were to say beautiful, you're full of beauty. Respectful, you're full of respect. Good. Okay, go ahead and push your words all back together. We will pull these back out. So I will keep a hold of them. Alright, the next thing you are going to be getting are some vocabulary words. What I want you to do is I want you to read them in your head first, and then we are going to talk about each of these words before we kind of get going on our story. Thank you. ahead and read them through. Alright, does anybody know what any of those words mean? I want you, if you know what something means, I want you to put it in a pile, and if you don't know what it means, put it in a separate pile. So make 2 different piles of words you might know and words you don't know.
What if we kind of know and we don't know at the same time?
Put it in the middle if you want.
Is this relinquish?
Mm-hmm. Alright, so let's talk about what is, okay, this pile is, where did you know? Okay, so let's go through and let's look at, so go ahead and tell me what this word is.
Adventure.
Okay, what do you think adventure means?
Adventure means to go on a long journey to somewhere else.
Okay, an adventure would be to go somewhere else, right? Did you have that in your no pile? What would you say your definition would be of adventure?
You're doing something new that you maybe haven't done, or
Okay.
it's like what he said.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead and put that one. I'm not gonna tell you guys what they mean yet. What I want to do is just kind of see what do you already know, and then when we read through the story, I'm gonna see if we can figure out if it's kind of the same definition we're thinking of. All right. So what word is this?
Endure.
Okay. So what do you think endure means?
It means like I endured it. Like it was really fun and cool to do.
Okay, I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was cool to do. Okay. What okay, so you have hushed. What do you think hushed means? Okay, to be quiet. Do you agree with that?
I don't know. I had it.
You had it and you don't know. Okay, so we'll have to read. We'll have to read. Okay, so see, so we'll have to read our story and kind of figure it out. All right, is there any, let's see, we have, okay, what do you think mortal mean?
Mortal means like, so like if you put an in, it means you're immortal, like you can never die. But if you're mortal, that means that you're mortal and you can die.
Okay, okay. Did you have any other ones?
Or like mortal, like you're a person and you're not like something else.
Okay,
Like you're a living thing.
okay. Okay, we're going to read through our story and see if our definitions are kind of what we said. Is there any other, okay, so there's a couple other words. So we have, can you say that word?
Stowed.
Stowed. We have this word, can you say this word?
Relinquish.
Relinquish. And our last word?
Galley.
Galley. So we're going to kind of figure out what do all of these words mean and how can we figure them out? How can we understand them? So what I want you to do is I want you to highlight your story, your vocabulary words inside this story. So find each vocabulary word. It only appears one time. So find your vocabulary word in the story. So you're going to have to skim through and then highlight it, please. So there should be a total of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 words, I believe. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to kind of determine with some of those we already kind of know our definitions to, some of them we don't. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to figure out how can we figure out these definitions as we're reading. So we're going to look at context clues. You may know what I mean when I say context clues.
You mean like, you mean like words before it that really give meaning to the word that you're looking, like you're trying to find the meaning to?
Right, so words around it, words before it, that kind of give you the meaning of the word. That can kind of help us with it. So if I were to say my word is scolded, so I kind of wrote it down. If I were to say my word is scolded, and I don't know what scolded means, and I said when my parents get a call from the teacher, I get scolded. What's scolded mean?
It means to get punished for something.
Okay, get punished for something. What do you kind of think?
You get scared. Like, maybe it's another meaning for scared, because sometimes you get scared, because it's probably not a good thing to get a phone call.
Okay, so what if I were to say when I say, when I get a phone call from my parent or from the teacher. So if I'm getting a phone call from the teacher, sometimes it could be a good or a bad thing, but if I'm being scolded for it, it would probably mean that I've gotten some type of trouble. So if I'm being scolded, then that would just mean that if I was in trouble at school, what do you think is probably going to happen at home?
You're gonna get scolded.
You're going to get scolded. You're going to be in some type of trouble or punishment, kind of like what you said.
Yeah.
Good. And what I did is I used the phone call and thinking of, okay, if my parents getting called from a teacher, and I used the context from that. So that's what we're going to do. So what I want you to do is you have your story in front of you. You have highlighted all of your words. What we are going to do is I have given you an organizer as well, and we're going to work with this as well. We're not going to do this with every single word, but we're going to do it with the words that some of you didn't know. Okay, so there was some that we really knew, and then there was
really did.
and then there was other words that we really didn't know. And I would say those words that we really didn't know was relinquished. Do we agree with that? Let's see, hushed. I know that you knew that one. Galley, endure, and stowed.
I knew that one.
Mortal was another one. We both agreed we knew adventure. So we're not going to write down every single one because I know that some of you knew hushed, some of you knew endure and mortal. So I'll kind of tell you which ones we're going to write down, okay? All right, so let's look at the beginning of the story, and what we're going to do is we're going to read it out loud together. So as we're reading, I want to read by paragraphs. So we're going to read the first paragraph together, then we'll stop and we'll talk about our word to see if we can figure out what the definition is. Okay. So go ahead and we're going to all read together.
When Uncle Everett put on his famous flying shoes, he could go back to ancient times. We never knew where his next adventure would take us.
All right, so adventure was one of our words. So what do we, Keegan, sorry, I was supposed to say a name. What did you say earlier? I'm sorry. Sorry, what did you say adventure meant?
Adventure means like to go on a journey to somewhere else.
Okay, so we put on his flying shoes. So what do you think they're about to go do?
They're about to go back in time, because that's what it said.
Okay, they're going to go back in time. They're going to go on some type of adventure. They're going to go somewhere, right? So we all kind of knew that one, so we're not going to write that one down. Good job. All right, so let's read paragraph 2 and then stop.
Uncle Ed began his story in a hushed tone of voice. We kids listened closely.
All right, a hushed tone of voice. So now that it's a tone of voice, what do you think hushed means?
It means to be quiet.
To be quiet, right? And what told us that was the voice. If I have no idea what hushed means, but then it says something about voice, well, it could be a loud voice, quiet voice, shouting voice, a mean voice, right? So we know that it is a quiet voice. Good job on that word. All right, let's go to paragraph 3. I'm going to tell you about
the time I stowed away on a pirate ship. I hid in the cook's galley. That's the ship's kitchen. The food smelled so good, and I was starving.
All right, so 1 second. We found, let's see, there are 3 different words. I want you to go ahead and write the first word, stowed. Oh, 2 words, sorry. Put stowed on your word. Oh, yeah, sorry.
I think I know what all of
Put
them mean.
stowed. So we're going to, alright, so stowed. So we, at the top, you're gonna see that says I think it means, and then you're gonna see clues that helped me. So what we're gonna do is, before we say what we think it means, we need some clues, right? So if I read back that through and it says, I'm going to tell you about the time I stowed away on a pirate ship. What are they doing on a pirate ship?
Like, he went away, he went on a pirate ship to somewhere else.
Yeah, he went away, he went on something.
And adventure at the very beginning is also a clue to that word.
Okay, right, because he's going on some type of adventure, he's going somewhere. So when it says that he is stowed away on a pirate ship, if you're stowing away, it's kind of like he's sailing away, but what is he on?
He's on a pirate
He's
ship.
on the pirate ship. Good. So a clue that helped you with that, I think, would be pirate ship, right? If it says stowed away on a pirate ship. So where it says clues that helped me, just write pirate ship. You don't have to do complete sentences. It's just different words or clues that helped you in there. You also brought up a good idea by saying adventure is another clue that kind of helped us. Okay, and then at the top I want you to tell me what you think it means. So this can be in your own words, just kind of what do you think stowed would mean. So I'll read it just again. I'm going to tell you about the time I stowed away on a pirate ship. What does stowed mean? You're kind of putting on something, or you're on something and you placed. So I would just write just something simple. It's just you're putting on, or you're on something. You're putting it in place. You're on, put in place, or if you stowed away on a pirate ship, you're just saying that you're on that pirate ship. Okay. Go ahead and do our next paragraph, and then let's stop because there's another word in there. So reading all together.
What about galley?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that one was in there. So go ahead and write galley. Good eye, good eye.
They don't call me the teacher helper for nothing, even though they never called me that.
Okay, so galley. So what are some clues? Let me reread that sentence. It says I hid in the cook's galley.
Maybe like hiding in the cabinet or something?
After that sentence, it says that's the ship's kitchen.
So is it telling us what a galley is?
Yes,
Yeah.
What's a galley?
it's the kitchen.
It's the kitchen. Good. So on clues that helped me, you can write down kitchen. Also cooks. Where are cooks at? In the
kitchen.
In the kitchen. So cooks and kitchen told you it. And then all you have to do where it says I think it means, just write down kitchen. And then when you're done, you can put this one underneath your other one, so that way you can get your other pages for your other words. Alright, good. Alright, let's go ahead and read the next paragraph and then stop.
Do you want us to put our name on it?
Yeah, you can do it in a little bit. It's okay.
Okay.
Alright, so next paragraph says, I pleaded with the cooks to relinquish some food, but the cook refused. What does relinquish mean? What are we thinking? I pleaded with the cook to relinquish some food, but he refused. So if refusing, so did he do it or no?
No.
Didn't do it. And he's asking the cook, so what is he saying? I pleaded means like I pleaded the cook, I asked the cook to do what?
I think relinquish means to like ask for something that you need,
Okay, what are we
like
thinking?
water, food.
He pleaded the cook to give him something.
Exactly it, yeah. It's to ask for something or to give to him. So relinquish just means to give up. If I were to relinquish, if I was playing with this right now and I were to say I just relinquished this to you, it's just that I gave up. I just gave it to you. So go ahead and write down relinquish. Write down our clues that helped us. What clues helped us with finding them?
He said like I pleaded.
Pleaded.
with the cook
Yeah. Pleaded.
for some food.
Pleaded. Some
And
food
the
could
cook
help you.
refused.
The refused helped a lot. I would say pleaded and refused were some major words that helped. And what you guys are doing now, you guys are going to do on your own in a little bit. So, keep that in mind. Alright, let's go ahead and read that next paragraph. And actually, we're going to read that next paragraph and read it all the way down. So,
Okay.
go ahead and start. I couldn't endure a minute longer. I was immortal and I needed food. When the cook finished cooking for the pirate, I told him I would do the dishes that were stacked almost to the top of the galley. The cook was so happy he didn't have to wash the dishes. Gave me a big bowl of steaming hot stew. Alright, so as we were reading too, it started talking about cooks and dishes, and so we kind of figured out that, and it said galley again, so I think we agree that galley's a kitchen. Alright, so I couldn't endure a minute longer. What does endure mean?
Like I couldn't do it. I couldn't like
Couldn't
wait
wait.
for it any longer. So like I couldn't go through it again.
Yeah, you couldn't wait. I couldn't wait any longer. I didn't want to repeat it. Couldn't wait any longer. So go ahead and write down endure. What kind of told you what endure meant? What clues?
Couldn't.
Couldn't? Okay.
Longer. A minute longer.
Okay, a minute longer. If I were to say I couldn't blink a minute longer, what could I put in there instead? I couldn't. What's the word?
Couldn't wait.
Yeah. So then what does endure mean?
Couldn't wait.
Couldn't wait, right. So endure just means wait, continue. I couldn't continue waiting any longer. And the next one says I was immortal and I needed food. So just like what you said earlier when you said
He's a living thing.
right,
He
you're
needs some
human.
food.
Right, you're a human and you're a living thing and you need some food. Good. Alright, so go ahead and put that page underneath, and then I am going to add to that. So what you guys are going to get next is I have already pre-highlighted for you. So it's going to look just like your page you just had, but it's going to be a new story. And it has and it has brand new words with it. So what you're going to do, what you're going to do is you're going to do this completely on your own. I want to see how you do. But what I want to do is I want to check your fluency. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you read for me. And while I'm having one person read for me out loud, I want the other person, what you can be doing is you can start writing down your words on here. But don't write down what they mean, but you can write down your first word here, your second word here, and continue that while I'm reading with her.
Okay.
Okay? Alright, so let me just start my timer. And then you're just going to read out loud. Get to a word you don't know, just set it out and just continue going, okay? Go ahead.
Have you ever watched monkeys at the zoo? We are fascinated by the way monkeys act. We laugh at how we act like them. When we get caught monkeying around, it is funny to see how much alike we and these primates are. Humans are primates too. That means we have both belong to the same group of animals. We have 4 fingers and an opposite thumb. This means that the thumb sits across from the bend towards the finger. Our fingers and thumbs. I lost now. This means that the thumb sits across from and bends towards the feet. Our fingers and thumbs can move independently or all together. This makes doing daily activities easier than if we had paws like cats or dogs. One thing we don't have in common is a tail. Some monkeys have a
Prehensile.
Some monkeys have a prehensile tail.